Hey guys, welcome to D.C.X. Today we're going to be showing you how to roll seaweed blunt. So you get your seaweed. I'm joking. Instagram, calm down. Snapchat it, calm down. YouTube, it, calm down. Facebook, you guys need to calm down with this meta stuff. I'm joking. Don't ban me. I'm not Andrew Tate. Hey.
New week. Welcome back to D.C.X. New week, new episode. Hope you had a good week. Hope you are all but before we start, shall I ask you, how are you, mate? How are you?
Bro, I'm blessed and highly favored by the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ that died on the cross, rose again, ascended, and is coming back. So get right with him, because first thing that we have on the news, Loki, is that apparently some seas are turning red. Some people are saying, people have been thinking about the rapture coming left, right, and center since Jesus left, practically.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, at the same time, like, I'm open to it happening now. You know what I mean? Just get this world over and done with, bruv.
If the rapture was about to happen, are you making heaven?
I don't think that's the point. I think a lot of Christians are misguided. Not misguided. I think they're like striving for the wrong thing.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
I think the goal, like, God can look into your heart and he can see if you're trying to make heaven. And it almost, in a sense, like, makes you a bit, in my opinion at least, it kind of seems like a bit gold diggerish. You know what I mean? It's like you're just going to do the correct thing just so you can get to heaven. But I think it's more important to actually genuinely want to become a better person. And I think the whole view and the idea of Christianity makes you, or at least in my opinion, makes you a better person. Do you get what I'm saying? Like, genuinely, there's things that I want to, like, fight against, or I want to do, or I want to focus on, where Christianity is kind of like, no, don't do that, you know? And then what ends up happening is that as a byproduct, I just end up becoming a bit of a better person each day.
Yeah.
And then as another byproduct, if I make heaven, then I made heaven. If I didn't, or I don't, then, you know, that's God's, like, judgment, you know what I'm saying, on me. But at least I think focusing too much on making heaven is taking away the authenticity. You know what I mean? It's kind of like telling a kid, like, yo, if you're good, you get to go on the ride. But you want that child to also genuinely be a good person, whether that ride is there or not.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that heaven kind of represents that ride. The kid obviously represents us. The parent represents God. And it's like, God doesn't just want you to be good so you can get to heaven. God wants your actual character to be a good person. So I don't know. That's at least my thoughts. So if the rapture happens, at least, you know what I'm saying? That's where I stand, at least. If I make it, I make it. If I don't, I don't. That's all God's judgment. And I believe he'll make the right judgment for me.
But, like, shouldn't you kind of cut yourself some slack and be like, actually, I do see myself in heaven?
I'd say I cut myself some slack in the sense that I like to imagine what it would be like to be in heaven, how we would trade and how we would, like, do business with each other. Because obviously we're not just going to be sitting down there doing nothing. I believe that we're going to be praising God all the time, but I think it's also going to be in the sense of us working. We were created to do things. That's the human nature. So when we do things in a good way, Ecclesiastes says, eat, drink, and find satisfaction in work. And I believe that that is a form of praise to God. So it'd just be interesting to see, like, how we, for example, let's say money is not there. Someone genuinely wants to be a waiter, and that's okay. And then someone else is genuinely wants to be a CEO, and God sees that fit for them in these heavenly businesses and things like that. And I think everyone's going to be placed in the correct place. Sometimes as well, I'm just thinking, like, bro, life is just long in the sense that I'm like, my ideal heavenly life, but obviously God knows better than me, would be literally I'd have like a little island that I can live on. I don't know, catch a couple of fish. I have like a cafe that sells fish food. I find it funny. It's literally in my head. It's literally like a cafe that sells some fish food, and I just go catch some fish in the tropical oceans where there's someone getting baptized in heaven.
Thing
I
is,
don't know
like,
how.
this guy's actually Angolan, so like it makes so much sense. He loves fish as well.
Racism is not permitted in this place at this time. But
Yeah.
so I think I cut myself some slack in that way, in the
Mhm.
sense that I like to imagine what it would be like to be in heaven. Then sometimes the other way around. You know what I mean? Like, bro, some people just be taking hell a little bit as a joke. I'm just like, yeah, long day, brother. Because imagine the worst thing possible happening to you all the time. Like the thing you hate the most, I feel like low-key that might be hell happening to you forever.
Yeah, hold on. I saw this video. Sorry to cut you off.
You know,
I saw this video, and I think it put hell in a whole new perspective, and like in a whole new light, because hell is absence of God, which yes we already know, but I mean absence of everything that God is and that God is associated with.
yeah, and I think it's literally like facts, because
Yeah,
if you think about it, it's like you have a lot of people saying that this life is just a test, this life is just a test, and it kind of is, because if you choose not to be with God, God's like, okay, cool, that's the test, and you've in a sense have passed your test, in the sense that you don't want to be with God. Cool, fine then.
yeah,
Be without God forever.
yeah, and that
That's-
then means
No.
sorry, like, cause like adding to a point, that then means if God is the breath of life, if you're not with God, that means you're gonna be suffocating for eternity.
You know what I mean? And you're gonna have that
Literally.
eternal. And then, for example, God is love. You ain't gonna feel no
No
love.
love.
And I think it's like, I feel like that's the explanation of the fire and brimstone.
Yeah.
It's like fire and brimstone is really hot. It's just imagine you're in that constant state of anger, that constant state of like anguish and resent and things like that. It's just, you want to feel that forever, it's your own. But I think, like, and the thing is as well, like, it's actually interesting to see how people will reject that message so much, like so passionately. They literally just be like, yo, like, there was one thing I was literally telling Dan the other day, is like, what is the difference between telling someone about Jesus and McDonald's? You know what I mean? Like, you tell someone about Jesus, if they don't accept the message, fine, then cool, you didn't accept the message, live your life, but you might suffer the consequences later. And then it's like the same with McDonald's. But for some reason, when you bring up the name Jesus, people start getting agitated. Like, yeah, it's like people are just like, oh my gosh, I don't want to hear it. Bro, you know what you also don't want to hear, but you never complain about, is the amount of adverts YouTube shoves down your throat all the time. People trying to take your money left, right, and center. You don't complain about that. But one person once in a while comes over like, yo, just give your life, yada yada. It's just a bit too much.
Yeah, that to me is always interesting, because every single person, whether you're a Christian or not, you to some extent you are a hypocrite.
Yeah.
Now it just depends on how accountable to yourself you can be to realize, okay, yeah, I'm a hypocrite. I mean, and I feel like for most people, like everyone, Christian or non-Christian, everyone is a hypocrite. So like, you know, when someone posts about God once in their life, unfollow, hatred, dislike, bash you. It's like, okay, but when people are like posting, like, first of all, there are people out there who might have been hurt by people that said they are Christians and so on. I pray that you find the healing that you need.
Amen.
But like, on like the larger scale, it's like, okay, you have no understanding on this subject. You do not, because if you did, you wouldn't be here.
Yeah, and I think it's meant in a sense that it's like
simple as
Like if you understood Christianity and not Christians, just Christianity
Yeah.
itself, you'd be like, oh, he's going through something, or he's going through something. That's why I was treated like that.
Yeah.
Or after even Christianity reflects on how humans are human.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like they're always gonna mess up, but God is the actual perfect
Yeah.
being, this perfect thing that kind of just outshines all the
Yeah.
evil, all the bad, and can use imperfect people for his perfect work.
Literally.
You know what I mean?
I was reading like Leviticus, like with my mom again in the car yesterday, and Numbers. And one thing that is literally an inevitable pattern of humanity is humans' nature to be doubtful and to be really inconsistent with belief in general.
Yeah.
Because, bro, it's 2025, right? Israelites, when God, took Moses to wherever, like, that was like thousands of years ago, okay?
Yeah.
One thing you will see is how quick the Israelites were to deny God or doubt God. I told mom, knowing myself now, like knowing how I am now, if I was living back then with my mentality now, or like I was born back then,
Mm-hmm.
I saw brother split the seas.
Yeah, literally, bro.
Bro, I saw flipping like snakes, like a rod turn to a snake and eat other snakes. I saw all these miracles. Can't lie, it would take a lot for me
To go
back
back.
then to be like, yeah, God, why is God that? If I saw how flipping God's like literally sends down plagues, if I see a wall like a cloud of fire, a cloud by day and a pillar of fire by night, guiding people,
Yeah.
bro, look.
That's when I'd be like, yo, you know what? Yeah,
Yeah, actually,
you lot, all 600,000 of you
tough
lot,
for
yeah,
you.
you're mad. All of you need to get murked
You
right
know what
now.
I mean? Like, and that's why I was like, bro, it takes a lot. It would take a lot for me back then to not believe in God. But then I'm like, hold on, wait a minute, something ain't right. That's how it's always been since, like, from the time of man till now.
Yeah, facts.
People, human beings, naturally always want something more.
Yeah.
Tell me why the Israelites are in the desert after God had done all these miracles, and they start complaining that all they have to eat is manna from heaven.
Yeah.
They want meat. I'm like,
So God was like, I'll give you meat in the
yeah,
evening.
exactly.
Then.
But then even then, still complaining.
Yeah.
And then, for some reason, the whole focus on getting to the promised land was kind of disregarded. And then they were trying to like complain to Moses and Aaron on why they are the only one like that are fully in charge. Man, wait, what, bro? Hold on. that should not be, bro.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, nah, like I hear all these things and I'm like, oh, they're so stupid. But then I'm like, it's the same thing today as well.
Yeah, and that kind of fires a thought process that I had before, where it's like, humans always like they want to act like like they want to act bigger than their boots. You know what I mean? All the time, in the sense that like there's people out there that are like, God, you have to prove yourself to me. Hold up, brother.
Who are you?
Like just under the, let's say it's not even a Christian God or any God or whatever, just under the definition of a God, right? Just a normal God, Zeus, whoever, whatever, right? They have to prove themselves to you. Think about that, bro. Does that not just, do you not just feel dumb saying that?
I mean,
Like, you just, oh, God has to prove himself to me. Cool, fine then, cool. God does prove himself to you, right? He goes off and then he puts his face into the cloud and he says, I am God. You know what humans would then do? Bam, 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 bam,
literally, bro.
There's this thing in the sky. We need to take over it. No.
Exactly.
Every single thing humans have come across, we've just dominated. And that's literally that Genesis 1 prophecy that God put there. He said, be fruitful, multiply. He put us in the world to have dominion over it.
Mm-hmm.
We come across crocodiles, we had dominion. We came across little diseases, we dominated. We managed to make TVs, bro, out
Yeah.
of plastic and things. Bro, we made things.
Yeah.
We dominated it. So then if God comes and puts his face in the cloud, what makes you think you're then going to go on your knee and start, yes, God, you're real. Yes, start preaching. No, you won't. You know why? Because you have too much pride, bro. You know what I mean? Everyone's stuck in there. No, I'm right.
Exactly.
Everyone's stuck in the belief that they're the main character.
Exactly.
It's like you really think you're the main character, bro. Because there's no books being written about you. There's no anything being done about you. You're not even doing anything for yourself. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, also
No.
like, sorry.
Wait, just
sorry.
disclaimer. I'm not
Yeah.
saying that to like this or anything. You are the main character of your story, but every main character also has a humbling period.
Mhm.
Find that humility. Find that place where you can be humble to something. Start with someone if necessary. You know, sit down and be like, you know what, there are bigger things in life that I can't control, that I may not even know the answer to. So it's okay not to know.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can't disprove God just the same way that I can't prove God. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So at that point you can't say, oh, he's not real. Prove to me he's not real. Because I've had things happen in my life. I've seen things happen in other people's life that prove to me that he's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But whatever.
I mean, like, I was gonna go on different things, but like, let me just like add to your last point. The word "prove" is so misused, man.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Even in like science, like psychology, or other stuff, we don't say "prove" as much as people who are not scientists or like don't have some sort of scientific background use that word.
Hmm.
Like, when do you say "prove"? What do you mean?
Usually most people, this is not me. Usually what most people want
Yeah.
and they don't realize is that their eyes are their God.
Mhm.
So it's not even necessarily their touch or the way they felt or anything. All their senses are gone, thrown out the window, and they want to see God, bro,
Yeah.
in front of me, bro, bowing down to me, bro, and then I want to ask him for a gold pot.
Israelites saw God's hand when he was doing all these things through Moses. That wasn't enough.
Literally, they saw seas parting,
Bro,
like
kinda like-
literally
I saw
walls of
that-
seas. They saw the captures getting drowned, all of
I
them.
mean, they saw plague, they saw all these things. And then it's the same people that will kind of mock God, curse God, and then like,
Expect from God.
like they'll get punished, like a plague or something. Then it's the same people that be like, oh my God, Moses, look, actually, we have crossed the line, we have sinned. Please go beg God for forgiveness.
Literally, I'd say that they're like, they've kind of been programmed, but also not in the same sense. I say no because, like, at the end of the day, you do have you can make choices, right?
Yeah.
But I'd say it's more so that narrow-minded thinking. They're used to that comfort. They're used to that life
Yeah.
where they don't have to, for example, like believe or think about death or think about where they're gonna go to after.
Yeah.
So they're just, it's kind of like a narrow-minded mindset. See, for example, with the Egyptians, when not the Egyptians, sorry, the Israelites, when they got released, they were like, "Oh, you brought us out of Egypt to die. There's no food here. We might as well have just stayed back in
Yeah.
Egypt." They were willing to turn around and go back to Egypt, back to their slavery, just for food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I feel like it's the same in this process. Like, even if God was to show himself, would you then stop clubbing? Would you then stop doing all this other stuff that you're doing, fornicating, adulterous behavior, yada yada, left, right, and center? No, you probably wouldn't. Why? Because tomorrow you don't feel the same. Today you were amazed by the cloud. Then you see the cloud tomorrow, and you saw the cloud the next day, and the day after, and the day after. This cloud in the sky saying, "I am God," constantly, with all the raindrops around it saying, "Holy, holy, holy is God." But then you turn around and still continue doing your backflip life. It's literally, you're literally just sitting there at that point, like, bro, the message.
Bro, that's too advanced thinking. You literally have the original manuscript. Yeah, but where does it say that it was Mark who wrote it? Actually, John wasn't alive. Like, John's thing was part. I'm like, okay, bro. Okay, let's now take a step back, put this sort of thinking to the side, and look at history. Just put, okay, God doesn't exist. Christianity is a hoax. Is history. Can you show me the original document of Abraham Lincoln doing all these things?
You
Yeah,
have
yeah.
yeah.
It's at the museum. Okay. Can you show me the birthplace of Theresa May? Like, I want to see the crypt. Like, I want to see her DNA in the crypt she was born in.
In the bed.
The bed. Yeah, I can. Cool. Can you show me any geographical, historical evidence to believe in why? Give me something. Yao Ming might have ruled like the Asian Empire at some point. Yada yada yada.
Yeah.
Can you do that? Okay, cool. No, you cannot. Okay, if you cannot, let's just assume you cannot. Why is that part of history something you are willing to believe in?
Yeah, and literally. And the
Okay.
thing is as well is there's more proof out there that that of like written things about Jesus than there are, for example, I think it's either Pontius
coming.
Pilate
I'm
or
coming.
yeah, literally
My second point, okay, if you're saying yes, you actually can't prove that all these things I've mentioned, like Theresa May, Mother Teresa, Hitler, Donald Trump, Abraham Lincoln, D.C. Washington, whatever, you can prove to me, or you can show me evidence, or actually you believe in the evidence based on what you've heard, because you haven't seen them, you haven't touched it, you might have read it online, but you haven't probably been to the museum, but it was preached in high school, so like you said, okay, I believe in it. If you're willing to believe in that, okay, why are you struggling to believe in the same physical evidence
that we claim to have as well.
that we claim to have, which is like, you can find the birthplace of Jesus Christ. I think of King David, of all these things, and
the
like
stone that
all
Moses
these people.
split. All
Exactly.
these things.
For some reason, if I say this exists, you're now willing to quickly be like, actually, this is not true because the evidence is yada yada yada. Okay, if you want to use your critical thinking cap, why not do the same for this history that you believe in?
Yeah.
They're so quick to kind of always justify and nullify and kind of, counter any sort of historical evidence that there is. I mean,
Yeah. Like literally the burden of like the basis of evidence is practically the same. It's like, okay, this one, for example, okay, so you've got the world and then you've got Jesus, right? You've got the world and it's like, okay, so and so existed because we can see the manuscripts that
Mhm.
they existed. We can see some documents. We still have them in museums.
Mhm.
And it's like Jesus existed. And then it's like the same process, literally the same process where there's some things in some museums in Israel or wherever, but then all of a sudden it's like, no, but that's not enough, bro. What do you mean? You have to look inside at that point. You literally have to look within yourself.
that is the point I'm trying to get to.
Like
bro.
you
That's
have
what
to
I'm
look
trying to
within
get to.
you have to look within yourself and be like, yo, have I got a pride thing or am I genuinely just trying to not accept Jesus at all?
I would actually really, really, really respect someone that said, okay, you know what? There might be stuff out there, but I am just willingly, choosingly not to believe because I don't care. Whatever. In fact, like even if you might have been hurt by someone that was Christian or Christian, and you're like, you know what, born everything, cool. But
Much
even
respect to you. Kudos.
yeah, cool. But then we could even go further if you want to, dabble into that sort of mindset and be like, okay, you have been hurt by someone that claims to be of a certain belief that you think or whatever. So people say preaches good things. Okay.
Mm.
I'm sure you've been hurt by your mom, by your dad, siblings, boyfriend, girlfriend, son, daughter, stepmom, whatever. You've been hurt by someone who you believe or have
Yeah.
been told to believe is someone that should love you and take care of you. But for some reason,
You continue to give him a chance.
exactly. Now, this is like direct between you and the
Yeah.
person. That hurt probably went deep, or not as deep. This person is a so-called Christian or Christian. it's like a middleman between you and God, and this person has hurt you, has given you a false image on what God actually is, and all these little things, and you've not chosen to kind of be like, okay, you God, I hate you so much,
Facts.
and in fact, yada yada yada. If you compare these two things right now, it's like, yeah, like I want to understand. Look within.
Yeah, you have to look within at
Because,
that point.
bro, something I will always say is like, I love consistency.
Yeah.
I like, I'm not as like I'm not as consistent as a person, but like as a society, I love seeing patterns. It could be autism, but I don't know. But I love seeing things that reoccur, and kind of like you can reuse. I mean, to kind
Yeah.
of to like make a valid point.
Yeah.
You will always be able to reuse God is love and love is God, and seeing people relive that life,
Facts.
but you won't see it in the world.
Yeah.
Because if I ask 10,000 people what is love, I might get love is a feeling, love is like internal, love is chemical reaction of emotions, love is whatever. I'll get different answers.
Yeah.
If I go here, what is love? Love is God. God is love. Okay, and how does that translate? It translates by Bible verses, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
There's always like a level of inconsistency in the world, in the human, like even just in humans naturally, like the kind of like makes me feel like, yo, you're not honest to yourself, because you're now trying to rely on your own sort of level of interpretation of
Your
whatever.
own understanding, really.
Exactly. I mean,
Bible literally says, lean not on your own
and this
understanding.
and but see this.
Literally,
Go
like,
ahead, guys. Go ahead.
bro, the Bible literally says, yo, you ain't it, bro.
This is what I'm trying to say.
You have to remember, right, that like God, Jesus, Holy Spirit, Father, they are the ancient of days, bro. The thing is as well, like this is a tiny sidetrack, but you have to remember as well that the devil is older than you. This brother wise, bro. He knows the subtle ways to just make you turn left, divert from God a little bit. Bro, you see it left, right, and center all the time. It's just subliminal messaging left, right, and center everywhere we look, on TV, on adverts, on schools, and whatever. And he's been planning this stuff. So sitting there thinking, oh, you have the answers to everything, is the silliest thing you could think of. Literally so silly. Like, you don't have the answers to everything. The Bible literally says for a reason, lean not on your own understanding. Because then that way you can broaden your mind. That's the first step to wisdom. The first step to wisdom is thinking that you don't know it all and
Facts.
believing that you don't know it all.
Facts. I'm looking for the verse that talks about the heart.
The first step would be that, and I believe as well the fear of God. The fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, because at that point when you start the fear of God doesn't necessarily mean like you're sitting down there crying, oh my gosh, God is so scary. The fear of God is instead that respect, the same fear that you'd have for your parent. You know what I'm saying? For your mom or your dad, where it's like, yo, these people have actually done amazing things in my life. But when they're angry, yes, of course I'm scared. But at the same time, I can see the amazing things that they've done in my life. It doesn't necessarily need to be a parent. It could be an older brother. It could be a younger brother or something. But the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom, where now you've realized, okay, this person is amazing. I want to learn more. And you can learn more from someone who, in this sense, is older, which is God. You know what I'm saying? Someone who can literally teach you everything. Why is he the wisest? Because he literally created everything. So there's almost like no arguing that.
The Bible says in Jeremiah 17:9, the heart is deceitful above all things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?
Literally. It
I, the
says,
Lord, sorry,
you don't know.
I, the Lord, search the heart and examine the mind to reward each person according to their conduct, according to what their deeds deserve.
Yeah. Literally, it says what was the first line? The heart is
The heart is
deceitful above all
all
things.
things and beyond cure. Who can understand it?
The heart is deceitful above all things, bro.
And
That
beyond
means
cure.
more than the devil.
Bro,
Devil knows that. He knows, oh, okay, this person likes yansh. Let me just put some yansh in front of him. Next thing you know, he's gone crazy. You know what I mean? Like a little Tasmanian devil or something, bro, literally. But the thing is, what you have to remember as well is that the fact that you can look within and be like, yo, I'll be lying to myself. That's the beginning of wisdom. You know what I'm saying? When you put that pride aside, when you have that fear of God, beginning of wisdom right there, that's when you start figuring out a lot of stuff. Open up your third eye real quick, you know what I'm saying? Which is your mind, not on any other source stuff.
that reminds me of something. I had this long discussion with my mom about the power of choice. But most things in life all kind of come back to an individual's choice that they make. If not all things, but most things. So, actually,
I'd say something along the lines of 51% of life is your choice.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. If and when it comes to God, you're being fed information by people in church, outside of church, by different religions and different friend groups and social media and whatever and here and there. And as human beings, we naturally do stuff. Like, we naturally make choices about who to believe in, who to trust, who to love, who to hate. And sometimes it's just like an active choice. When it comes to God, yeah, if even if you have been fed the wrong information or some information, you still have to make a choice or that choice to kind of be like, let me step outside of my bubble. Let me go third person mode right now and kind of explore, research, understand from my own self, and let me see what my own self can get. And to do that, you have to be unbiased and humble. Because if you also apply, now this is where it's good to be consistent. If you apply that sort of approach to other things in life, you wouldn't be racist because you're like, not everyone of so and so race is like this and that.
Yeah, I was gonna say that earlier. I was gonna say like you're technically racist.
Exactly.
The thing is as well, like you'd be surprised how much further you can get with just a little bit more patience.
Mm-hmm.
Like with understanding stuff, for example, this is more on a social level. It's like someone comes to you with some sort of bad news. There's some people out there that burst.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like, if you just sat back for 2 minutes and just went, all right, can you elaborate a little bit? Can you expand on what you mean? Can you expand on what you say? You could save a lot of energy. And that's literally like that patience, in a sense, provokes wisdom. You know what I'm saying? That patience where it's like, okay, let me just wait. Just be still for a second. Ask some questions, yada, yada, yada. Then you, in a sense, grow. And through that choice, you've now taken the first step into becoming a new person, in a sense.
Yeah.
And then through the next choices and things like that. The thing is as well, like choices, you never know which choice is going to be a massive butterfly effect. Because, I don't know, I was watching this video yesterday night, and it was this girl who was trying to escape North Korea. And she was like hidden behind a tree, and there was literally a lake, maybe like 20 meters like across, was China. As soon as she took that first step on the ice, that was a butterfly effect of 7 years of struggle for her to finally get to South Korea. So my whole point of that is that literally like just have a bit more patience in a sense, and be a little bit more wise with your choices, because then you never know which choice would be the next butterfly effect that can affect the next however long of your life.
Yeah.
You know, so
Like
things like that.
when it comes to like God as well.
Really? Already?
That's crazy. Like when it comes to like, God, Christianity. That's just, I'm a Christian, so like that's my perspective. Most people might feel a certain urge for something bigger in life.
Yeah.
Or like, oh, I'm actually doing well. I'm a 6-figure nigga. I'm doing all these things, but something is lacking. I'm married. I have kids. I have 2 houses. I have 20 cars. On earth, I am complete. Like I'm chilling
On earth.
on earth. Like if I was to die, I would feel, yeah, cool. But then some people are in the same boat and are like, something is off about me. There's something in life that I have not fully accomplished yet. And people might dabble into different stuff. Some dabble in drugs and whatever, worships and but like those that do kind of find themselves on the religious path and end up kind of dabbling into Christianity, you have to approach it with a really open heart
Mm-hmm.
and make that choice to kind of be like, okay, I actually know a few Christians. Let me just ask, research, gather information on their life, on their belief, and hopefully it's good to be Christians and I do a witness.
And the thing is as well, literally, like just being open-minded literally links us all the way back to the McDonald's thing. It's like,
Exactly.
bro, just be open-minded.
Exactly.
It will not hurt.
Exactly.
Keep your mind open. If you got any questions, just ask some questions. If someone's telling you about something, just be like, you know what, yeah, I've got like 2 minutes to listen. Cool. Just try to keep it short for me or whatever. Because when the advert comes and plays, you're not there like crying your eyes out. You know what I mean? But then when someone goes, oh, by the way, Jesus loves you, it's like, bro, who's Jesus, bro? Like, there's 2 things that itches people so much in this generation, bro. It actually annoys me. When you tell someone about Jesus and we tell someone about veganism, I ain't even vegan, but I've seen the way people get itchy when you tell them there's
some manifesting.
Bro, something, bro, calm down. But then it actually gets really interesting when you start figuring out that technically we all should be vegan. It's
Low key.
Let me not get onto that path. Let me not get onto that path.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. Anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, big waffle episode on that, innit?
Big waffle
Right, I was
episode.
about that about.
Look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching our tutorial on how to roll seaweed blunts and get closer to God at the same time. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Just real quick, do you want to give yourself a message for? We've done it before.
Yeah, we
right?
got.
Leave yourself a message for the in the comments or anywhere.
If you have any questions, because like it's a waffle episode, so there probably wasn't a lot of thought into what we said, especially about Christianity. So if you are a Christian and you were like, that's wrong, I beg you just DM me, bro, and let's chat normally when when I've had the dinner and breakfast and lunch.
And
when I've prayed as well. I mean, so like, but if you have any questions or whatever, just DM us. If we have misrepresented God in a bad way, God forgive us, because we don't need to.
And also, you forgive us, man. It's not that deep. If you
Yeah,
came over
bro,
to the
like,
house, we let you play on the games console. You know what I'm saying? We let you play. We let you use our
Why
toilet.
you bugging, bro? Like, fam, I know you live.
Yeah, like literally, like all you'd have to do is help pay
I'll feed
council
you.
tax to use the toilet. That's practically it. Everything else is
I'll
free.
eat your fridge, bro.
Yeah, actually
Anyways.
probably would.
Yeah. So next week, new guest by Fire by Force. So yeah, man, stay tuned, and I'm gonna see you guys next week.
Stay blessed.
Peace out.